Remember sitting down for breakfast in that snug little corner of the kitchen? No TV, no phones, just coffee steaming, toast on the table, and the whole family squeezed into a booth-like space that felt like your own private diner. That was the dining new canned. It wasn't just charming, it was a daily ritual in homes across America. These cozy, built-in spots were tucked into kitchen corners, often with bench seating and hidden storage underneath. They made mornings easier, meals more intimate. But as open floor plans took over, blending kitchens into living rooms, the nook got pushed out. It was on just a design shift hit was the end of an era where kitchens were for families, not entertaining. But that wasn't the only comfort to vanish. Tiled countertops were once the pride of every 1950s kitchen. Bright colors, bold patterns, some even looked like miniature mosaics. They were tough, easy to wipe down, and gave the kitchen a clean, modern look. But there was a problem: grout. That tiny space between tiles trapped grease, food, and moisture, turning into a breeding ground for mold if you blinked. No matter how much you scrubbed, it never stayed clean for long. So when seamless surfaces like laminate and quartz arrived, tiled counters didn't just fade out, they were practically thrown out. Yet, in some old homes, they're still there, decades later, quietly proving they were built to last. And it wasn't just countertops that lost the war against dirt. Linoleum flooring was everywhere in mid-century kitchens. Invented in the 1860s, it was made from linseed oil, cork dust, and wood flour, basically nature's leftovers. It came in wild patterns and colors, could take a beating, and cleaned up with just a mop. For families on a budget, it was perfect. But as vinyl took over cheaper, more uniform, and water-resistant linoleum got labeled old-fashioned. Funny thing, today, it's making a comeback. Why? 'Cause it's biodegradable, non-toxic, and actually eco-friendly. The very thing that made it outdated is now its biggest selling point. While floors stayed colorful, storage was about to get a serious upgrade. Enter the Hoosier Cabinet, the original all-in-one kitchen command center. Long before smart fridges or pull-out pantries, this freestanding unit had everything: flour bins, sugar dispensers, spice racks, even a built-in sifter. Some models had a pull-out work surface so you could mix dough right there. It was named after the Hoosier Manufacturing Company in Indiana. And for a while, it was the must-have item in early 1900s kitchens. But as homes started building storage right into the walls, the Hoosier cabinet became obsolete. Now, originals sell for hundreds, even thousands of dollars to collectors who appreciate its genius. This level of convenience was revolutionary till it wasn't enough. In the 1950s, push-button stoves hit the scene and changed everything. No more twisting knobs, just press a button and the burner clicked on. Sleek, modern, and straight out of a sci-fi movie. These stoves were marketed as the kitchen of the future. Some even had automatic timers that shut the oven off when dinner was done. Safety tech. That felt like magic at the time. But as digital controls and touchpads arrived, the mechanical buttons started to feel clunky. Reliability became an issue. Today, they're mostly seen in vintage appliance collections, relics of when high-tech meant something entirely different. Cooking was getting smarter, but some tasks stayed stubbornly manual, like ironing. Back in the day, many kitchens had a pull-down ironing board built into a cabinet or wall. You'd open a panel, pull it down, and boom, ready to press clothes between cooking and cleaning. It saved space, kept the iron handy, and made sense in homes where laundry wasn't in a separate room. But as houses got bigger and laundry moved to basements or utility rooms, the kitchen ironing board lost its purpose. Now, finding one in an old home feels like uncovering a secret. Some even had built-in lights and outlets, luxuries most people didn't realize existed. Not everything was about cooking. Some gadgets solved life's little chores. Take the wall-mounted can opener, clipped right to the cabinet or wall. It hung within arm's reach, freeing up counter space and making meal prep faster. From the 1950s to the 70s, it was a staple in busy households. No fumbling with a handheld gadget, just slide the can in and crank. But electric openers arrived. Then better manual designs, and suddenly the wall unit looked clunky. Kitchen layouts changed, too, favoring clean lines and minimal hardware. Now, vintage wall can openers are prized by collectors, some selling for over $100 online. Even the smallest tools had their moment in the spotlight, like the built-in flour sifter. Imagine opening a cabinet and finding a hand crank sifter built right inside, ready to pour fine flour directly into your bowl. No mess, no extra tools. These were common in early 20th century kitchens, especially in homes where baking from scratch was the norm. Some could hold up to 5 pounds of flour, perfect for big batches of bread or pies. But as pre-sifted flour hit the shelves and electric mixers took over, the need for built-in sifters dried up. Today, their curiosities often removed during renovations, sometimes preserved as nostalgic touches. Baking was an art until convenience changed the recipe. Then there was the meat-safe, a wooden or metal cabinet with mesh walls designed to keep flies off food while letting air flow through. Before refrigerators, this was how families stored meat, dairy, and leftovers. Placed in cool, shaded corners, some even had an ice compartment to help things stay colder. It wasn't refrigeration, but it worked. In hot climates, it was essential. But once fridges became affordable and reliable, the meat safe disappeared almost overnight. Now, they're seen as antiques, some restored, others forgotten in old pantries. Before cold air came from machines, it came from clever design. And then there were the rolling pin drawers, special curved compartments built into cabinets just to hold a rolling pin. Genius for bakers, saving time and protecting the tool. No digging through drawers, just open, grab, and go. As kitchens shifted toward modular, multi-use storage, these specialized spaces vanished. Today, antique cabinets with rolling pin drawers are sought after by collectors and restoration experts. They not just functional, they a symbol of a time when kitchens were tailored to your habits. Some vanished quietly, others left a legacy. Central vacuum systems were once the ultimate luxury, built into the walls, with hoses that plugged into outlets in every room. They were powerful, quiet, and collected dust in a central unit. Some even used water to trap allergens. Installed in high-end homes in the 1950s and 60s, they were seen as the future of cleaning. But the cost was steep. Installation required major construction, and repairs were complicated. As portable vacuums got stronger, lighter, and smarter, the central system faded into obscurity. A few niche companies still install them, but for most, they're a forgotten dream of effortless cleaning. So what does all this mean? These weren't just outdated gadgets, they were solutions to real problems, shaped by the limits and lifestyles of their time. The dining nook, the meat safe, the Hoosier cabinet, they reflected a world where kitchens were workhorses, not showpieces. Today, we have smart fridges and induction stoves. But do we lose something when everything's hidden, digital, and disposable? Some of these old features are quietly returning: linoleum floors, breakfast nooks, even retro can openers. Maybe we're starting to miss the charm, the character, the human touch. So here's the question. Are we building kitchens for living or just for scrolling? Drop a comment below. What's one old kitchen feature you wish would come back?